What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Closers Club. I'm here with Thomas Reyes, real estate developer in Boston, formerly music producer.
Indeed.
And I really appreciate you walking us through this project and talking about your journey as we're here on one of your development projects, Thomas.
Yeah, man. I'm enjoying that you're being here. Of course, you being the guy responsible for making the money
100%, man. That's how we do it.
Yeah.
That's how we do it, definitely. So, real quick, Tommy, tell us a little bit about your origin story, where you were born and raised. I know you were in the music industry as well, and then you transitioned to real estate. So shed a little bit of light on how that whole thing happened.
Yeah, well, the music business, 1989, I ran into a producer who was working with Bobby Brown closely, and he introduced me to Bobby. And upon introduction, we hit it off, and he allowed me to start writing some things for him while recording his forthcoming album, After Don't Be Cruel. And signed me to his label, Triple B, via Universal, so that I could record my own album. So that's how that came about. And while doing so, I discovered real estate and never went back.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And were you born and raised in Boston?
Yeah, absolutely. Right here in Roxbury, yep.
Gotcha.
Born and raised, yeah.
So born and raised in Roxbury. We're here right now in Rosendale, we're on the ground level of what's going to be a 4-story building.
Yes.
With 9 residential units above us?
9 residential units above us, 2 commercial on ground, and likely an event space on the lower level.
Excellent, man.
Yeah.
So how did you make that leap, Tommy, from being in the music industry to getting into your first real estate deal?
My first real estate transaction happened because at the MTV Pavilion, after a performance of Humping Around with Bobby Brown, I was approached by Lil Silas and Ernie Singleton Jr., who told me that, now that I've accomplished this, performing at the MTV Awards, I needed to make some decisions about going to school, how I would invest, or continue to make efforts in the music business. But one of the suggestions was that I buy property. And Nate Smith, he further cemented that, who was the president of the label at the time. So I just began buying property. And once I began buying property, it was the best decision to exit the music business and continue with property. So that's what I did.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So the seed money for you to get going in real estate came from the music?
Absolutely, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were able to multiply that and slowly but surely grow your real estate business, grow your portfolio.
Yeah.
And here we are today. So were you primarily flipping? Were you buying and holding? What was your strategy back then?
So initially it was real estate license, of course. We went the traditional way. And through that, I learned financing. And then financing became my primary go-to. I enjoyed and appreciated that more. We were an agency that you would come to if you had problems. If you got denied and failed somewhere else, that's how you ended up on our desk.
Yep.
So learning those complications and creative ways to close deals, that was where I thrived the most. But the market of 2007, when we crashed, that led me to have to get creative in terms of actual job security. So I turned to flipping, and out of flipping came the know-how for permitting and design and so on and so forth. So that's what leads us here to development.
Wow, that's a great journey, man.
Yeah,
So you started with the first flip, got into getting licensed as an agent, started doing some lending, and then you really learned kind of the foundation of the real estate business so that you could kind of scale your business and take it in any direction you wanted to.
Basically, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you transition now into real estate development, which brings us here to 25-29 Poplar Street.
Yeah, 25-29.
Yep.
You got it.
It's going to be an amazing building when it's done.
Indeed.
We'll be showcasing that as well in another forthcoming video with the tour.
Yeah.
But tell us a little bit about this deal, Tommy. How did you find this, and what was the planning process like, going from being, what was it, 3 commercial storefronts now to being 2 commercial storefronts and 9 residential units above?
Yeah, so my brother Ridley actually located the deal on online, I believe, on LoopNet. Yeah.
Okay.
And once he came by, he had met Todd Martin, who's a barber from the neighborhood. He used to have Celebrity Barber over on Mass Ave. I may have got my hair cut there once or twice as a child. But I came in, I met Todd, black man. We talked man to man. He wanted 1-1. I offered him 1-1-2-5. I seen that it was worth it. He took it and gave me the opportunity as well as the time and the patience to get through it.
Yes.
Because he hadn't completed the plans and gotten full approval, although he thought he did. So I took that process over with the design review board, filing any appeals necessary, getting the, just pro formas and all necessities to go forward with financing and closing the deal.
Yep.
And that's basically what happened, We had to get the zoning opinion letter among other things that he just was not familiar with. Yeah.
Excellent, man. Good stuff. Good
we
stuff.
checking these motherfuckers by walking in here. Too.
That's it, man. This is real. This is the reality of real estate, right?
Yeah,
it's not scripted.
Yeah.
We're out here sharing real stories.
Indeed.
And folks are here actively working on this site as Tommy's trying to protect his interest in this property and continue to make the money.
Exactly.
So,
continue to make it flow. Yeah.
Yep. Beautiful.
Beyond making the money, we got to get the building done. That's what it is. The money's to get the building done.
That's right.
We get the money after.
Yeah,
You know
100%, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Cool.
a lot. That's one of the areas actually, Rob, where a lot of people go wrong. I see a lot of young men try to get in this business and they lose themselves in lifestyle.
Really?
Yeah.
Elaborate a little bit.
As in, like, the budget is for the building, not for you.
Yeah, not for you to buy new cars, new clothes.
Nah,
and
man. The
can't live
budget
off
is
of
not
it.
for the big body, it's for the building.
There you go. Yeah, well said. And we've seen it a lot, man. I've seen it as well. Where guys get into trouble, they think they got a little cushion, and then when things hit the fan and that money's been spent elsewhere,
they're not able to
now that they're able to finish. And then they come and asking for more. We usually work with them, you know what I mean? We'll try to get them additional capital to make sure they can get to the finish line, but not all lenders are as nice as us.
No.
And this is where you get the loan to own.
Yeah, you got to get it done.
You know what I
that's
mean?
how you get that loan to own.
Loan
Exactly.
to own reputation.
Yeah.
When folks kind of mess
Fail.
around and you're with the wrong group and you fail and that's it. It's game over. So
you lose your shirt.
Yeah, but that's experience talking. That's
Yeah,
experience
absolutely,
talking, Tommy.
yeah,
When did you start understanding, Tommy, that you could take a property through the zoning and permitting process or entitlement process? Because that's a big leap for a lot of folks kind of just jumping in now, maybe on their first flip or second flip, and then they look at developers. I want to do development.
Yeah, well,
but
even
what
in
would you say the keys to like that transition were?
To understanding the entitlement process.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm with you. The entitlement process is about going through the permit process, about going through the insurance, workman's comp process. Sometimes drawings are necessary, meetings with inspectors, sometimes board of appeal processes when converting. But I had already been doing that because of the flipping. I think 1391 Hyde Park Avenue was a restaurant, and instead of maintaining it as a restaurant, there was a requirement to convert it to a two-family. And in that process, I think I learned the difficulties of dealing with inspectional services because it was beyond just a one or two family permit, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that was many years ago, we're talking 2007 or so, after the market crashed.
Correct, yep.
So going through that process made it easy. So thereafter, people would come to me for it.
Okay, so you became a go-to.
Yeah, exactly. And the
folks get through
entertainment
that.
business it places me in in a siren kind of way, you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting out there loud. They know that the transition is from music to real estate, so people just ask. They're like, I know he's in real estate, ask him.
Yeah.
How do I get through this?
Yeah, I love it. I love it, man. Your reputation and your network really supported your growth as well to help and assist others
I
and
couldn't
consult.
have said it better, man.
No
doubt.
Definitely.
That's the way to put it.
Sounds good, Tommy. So obviously you have a background in financing. You came to me and my team. We were able to get you the funding. Speak a little bit about how you funded this. It's private capital.
Yeah.
And how kind of the loan terms is 1 year, 2 years, kind of. Speak on the structure.
Yeah. So the structure of the deal initially was a loan with the Raymond Green Company, whom came in for a year. They were a little more scary. They're not as flexible as a lender like yourself and Crowd. So they weren't able to stick with it through the process. But because of the permitting process and the time that it takes, a year wasn't enough.
Right.
So when the note came to, close, basically, when the note came to, what is that word I'm looking for?
What's that, mature?
When it came to its maturity. My man, see, he knows the words. This is where you get your money right here. But when the note came to maturity, they were kind enough to give us some time. That's when I contacted you. We had collateral, so that was the easy part of it. And of course, just going back and forth with you, we figured out how that could work.
Yes.
By separating the collateral from the actual project, the property, and simply getting two different loans. And in doing so, it brought in the cash to leverage so that we could get the loan from you guys. So leverage is how I would say.
I love it, Tommy.
We got in here.
I speak to a lot of folks about this, and people ask me all the time, can we leverage another property in order to use that equity to acquire more. I actually met with a guy today. He owns a few properties in Cambridge, free and clear.
Yeah.
So, you know, we sitting on a couple million. He's like, that money's just sitting there, Rob. I want to tap into it.
Yeah.
I thought you came to the right place.
Yeah, so you did.
Because we know how to leverage that so you can kind of get to where you want to go and really make those real estate goals come to life. So
it'll be a wraparound on 2 or 3 of them, but you can make something happen.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Three of those is 20% of, you know, whatever he wants to do. You go get a $10 million development project and then, you know,
that's it.
Release it after, and he's all good. He's all complete.
You got it. You got it, man. So yeah, I appreciate you sharing. And then relative to like the day-to-day management, a lot of young flippers, a lot of investors, even at every level, Tommy, where people get stuck is the project management, the contractors, and all of that. So speak a little bit about your process and what advice you give to young folks trying to get into the game when it comes to picking a contractor and managing a project.
Yeah, picking a contractor is always the 3-step process. You're definitely going to get 3 bids. With a project like this, you want your contractor or your builder to be AIA certified so that if there's any benefits to receive from being AIA certified, that you have access to them. For example, if you're going to apply for a HUD or FHA-backed grant or some type of state or local grant as it relates to housing, which right now is very relevant.
Right.
Then you're going to need to have that AIA certified contractor, as well as have him be minority certified now in this industry here in this city.
Yep.
But those certifications are what's far more important than pricing sometimes.
Yeah, because you get a lot of benefits from that piece of it.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's what I would advise somebody to do, is make sure that their guy is certified.
Yep.
And that, you know, you check out the history, you check out previous projects, you see what he's completed, and know for yourself beyond anything. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just a week ago, I got pricing on 1, 2, 3, 5 pieces of glass with aluminum.
We were talking about that, yeah.
And the price came in at $26,000 from Jackson Glass. But when I called Tony in the hood, he got the machine for aluminum press, and he said 11 grand.
Right,
So,
it's a no-brainer.
And I get it delivered in 2 days.
In 2 days, because he's making it and bringing it. Boom.
Yeah, instead of a 3-week line time, 3 to 8 weeks, something like that. So timelines are important. And like I said, knowing yourself. Had I not did the research, I would have been stuck dreaming or having a nightmare that I got to pay $26,000. And that ain't the case, you know what I mean? So self-research is really important.
Great point, man.
Yeah.
Something else I want to add to that, a lot of folks talk about managing projects, you know, they'll, in their minds, Tommy, think, okay, I'm going to buy this house, I'm going to hire a contractor, I'm going to give him his deposit, and then, you know, next time I show up is the next time to cut a check, and then the next time I show up is at the end of the job.
Yeah.
You know, set it and forget it. They call it the microwave generation, right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Is that how you seen it work?
It don't work like that. Yeah, it definitely don't work like that.
Right.
You gotta, I mean, to get these things done, they're always subbed.
Yep.
No one general contractor does everything. So when you meet the guy in the street and you say, hey, so, you know, I got this thing, what do you do? And he says, oh, well, I do everything. Then you turn your back and you go the other direction.
I love it.
No one contractor does everything. You got to sub it out. And if it's got to be subbed out, then it might as well be subbed out by you, because the markup is going to be 10 to 20%.
Yeah.
And at the end of $1 million project, you've spent 200 grand on somebody else.
That's right.
It just doesn't make sense.
Yep.
You got to know for yourself. You do your own research. You check pricing with 3 contractors. Hopefully one of those would be AIA certified, minority certified, or otherwise. And then you check local grants and see what you're able to get there too. Because even right now, the Homeworks program in Boston gives you up to $50,000 for a 3-family.
Right.
You get like up to 40 for 2, 30 for a single, 20 for a condo. And that in and of itself will not be distributed if you don't have a certain type of certified contractor.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, man.
Certified contractors and checking for yourself is the way to go.
So let me ask you this, Tommy, to add to that. How often are you here on this project? Every day. You hear that, folks?
Every day.
And I'm glad you said that, because you heard it here first. He's experienced. He's been in the game. How many years? 17? 32, man.
Yeah,
32 years in the game.
I started at 17. I'm 49 now.
There we go, man. Love it.
Yeah.
And you're here every day. And
Every
that
day.
speaks to the importance of being present. You see a lot of YouTubers talk about, I did 100 flips this year, and I never showed up to the project, all that.
Those are, those aren't real flips. So those are wholesale assignment of title.
Correct.
You know,
Correct, yeah.
But getting in here and actually doing the work, getting dirty, knowing, you know, who your guys are, how they're moving, what they're getting done. That's the real process.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Once you're able to see for yourself, like I had I had a contractor come in here and tell me something was wrong with some of my pumps. There wasn't nothing wrong with any of them.
Yeah.
None of them was plugged in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
he's seeing you. He's like, this guy don't know anything. And
well,
then, right,
perhaps he just didn't check the electrical himself.
Yeah.
I really don't think that he would try to charge me for something that wasn't necessary.
Correct.
But he probably just didn't check the breaker.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean? So it could be something as simple as that'll cost you 11 to 15,000, and now you 11 to 15,000 short on the back end.
Yeah, man.
Or 11 to 15,000 will cost you 30 on the back end because things change.
Yep.
Price changes, lumber prices, steel prices, sheetrock, materials that are traded on the public market, they go up and down all the time. You know what I mean? So a fire in Brazil will cost you more right here.
Yeah, man, that's true.
Fire in Brazil will cost you more on Fort Hill. What you know about it?
It all impacts it, man. That's it.
Yeah, it's the impact for sure.
Cool, man. So with this particular project, Tommy, what's the exit look like for you? So you're going to have 9 units. Are you going to sell them as condos? Are you going to rent them? What's
Absolutely.
kind of your play on it? Yeah.
So the play has changed a bit. And the reason why is because sometime around June, July, the city of Boston put out an RFP that required fulfillment. I formulated a pilot program that allows Metro Housing Section 8 mobile certificate holders to purchase these units.
Wow.
And more than anything, I would love for people from my community to be able to buy condos in an area that's good for them.
Yep.
So as I wait for that, I still move forward with everything as is. So it's like one or two things, because of the ADA requirement, I may have to put one unit on the first floor handicap accessible, and that is also relative to whether or not we drop the elevator in it.
Gotcha.
So you got more than one thing in play.
Correct.
But you still have to keep trucking forward,
Yeah.
knowing that you have those 3 or 4 different opportunities. But should the city of Boston do the grant, it would be anywhere from $1 to $1.5 million, and that would be the supplement for the units if I were to sell them to the mobile Section 8 certificate holders.
I love that you shared that, man.
Yeah, man, I would love to do that.
A couple of things, right? The fact that you're able to take advantage of a program offered by the city, it creates a win-win, it creates housing for folks who need it most.
Yeah.
But also you're speaking on the process in real estate where the market is dynamic. It's a dynamic business.
Indeed.
So you
got to be prepared for all
of it, man. That's it, man. And you're always looking at the market conditions. People think real estate's just rent it and I'm done.
No.
If you want to stabilize an asset and really make sure your real estate's performing at the highest level, you got to keep your ear to the street. You got to
consider all avenues.
Exactly.
Because rental may not work.
Right.
Yep. Airbnb may not work, so you may have to go rental, which is a lot more stable.
Yep.
And I know people in those positions right now, man, that they thought the Airbnb market was going to work for them because it's pretty and it's furnished.
Killed. They're getting killed right now, Tommy.
They ain't getting nothing tonight.
Yeah, man.
How about that? How about nothing tonight?
100%. Yeah, man. No, that's great. That's
Change
great.
It up. Yeah, it's a dynamic business. Rental, visiting nurses. Some people try, but they got mice.
Yeah.
Or or you know what I mean? Or some kind of alternate that just isn't, the
market. It just doesn't work for the market.
It doesn't work for that particular property. Exactly.
Yep.
So you got to be dynamic. I couldn't have said it better.
Yeah. Cool, man. Yeah. So let me ask you this, Tommy. You kind of reflecting on your journey in real estate to date, because it's a never-ending journey for guys like us. Who would you say was the most influential mentor that you had, specific to your real estate career? It could be someone who mentored you on the lending side, development side. Yeah. Maybe the guys who kind of encouraged you to get in. But who is that person to you? If you had to sum it as one person, or maybe it's multiple people.
Multiple people. Definitely multiple people. Financing, I initially got from Glenn Quilter, my uncle on the West Coast. He does a lot of celebrity financing, doctors, lawyers. Los Angeles is a different market. Then when arriving here, Leon Aronson, who was an attorney that got into financing. We were at Manhattan Financial. And I would say those would be the 2 major influences as it relates to financing.
Okay.
My Uncle Glenn always explained that a deal is about the money. A real estate agent will most times, only get in the way. For example, yourself as a broker, you're not going to get in the way. In fact, the problems that arise, you're going to be able to circumvent those and resolve them. Whereas a real estate agent or broker from wherever who's just trying to sell a house is just there to sell a house with no understanding exactly of how the financing may work. Conditions, percentages, FHA maxes. The people just don't understand these things. They don't understand the rate matrices and how they work. So they go into things blindly and end up just costing other people time. You know,
Right.
so financing is the key to the game, and those two guys, they taught me that.
I appreciate you sharing that, Tommy, because I think a lot of folks think, you know, it's your intelligence that's going to get you there. Why you need to have a certain level of intelligence is really the support system, the team, and the mentorship that kind of gives you that foundation.
Absolutely.
So then your intelligence you can leverage that to blossom and grow.
Definitely the support
within the
system.
space.
Yeah, and like yourself, for example, a support system.
Yeah,
if I'm not able to come to you to say, hey, look, this is a deal, can we structure this? Then I got no answers. You know what I mean? I got no answers at all. So that's what it works like. Your team is as far as you'll get to a championship.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Cool,
that's how
man.
it works, yeah.
So what's next for you, Tommy? Like, this is a major undertaking. I can't wait to showcase the finished product. But what's kind of the next chapter? So as you get this wrapped up and kind of finalize your exit, whether it's condos through, you know, the affordability program with the city or rentals or whatever,
or regular sale. Yeah, regular sale. Yep.
What's next for you think? Because I know obviously you're very ambitious.
Yeah, certainly.
I can see it. I can feel that energy.
Certainly, yeah.
And so I'm just curious as to what the game plan is for you long term in the space.
Long term, there's some film that I've written, and I'd like to be able to take the time to finalize screenplay. And put that in motion. I got a film, a animated film that I've written called Gully, about some seagulls from Boston.
Love it.
Stevie Seagal is his name. He's got marginal karate skills and a ponytail. You know, he's out here looking for something to eat. You know what I mean? But that's a good one. I'm working on that.
Hilarious.
Yeah. And other than that, man, this is my Denzel De Niro moment, man. I'm gonna have my cappuccino across my legs, sit back on the roof deck, and just look at the city, check out the arboretum, see what the birds is like.
Take it all in, man. Yeah, man.
See if they flying high or flying low. See where the story go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just relaxing and laying back. I don't want to push too hard, but the equity in the building does put me in a position to leverage again, and that's what's most important. I got here with leverage. I get out with leverage. And the exit strategy solid, because either way you sell those 9 units and the business remains. This is a 34-26 footprint that we're in with the basement space. Yeah, we've got nearly 7,000 square feet. I would say closer to 65, maybe even 6,000 square feet after we, place our lobby.
In.
Yeah, we've got our pillars taking up space. So maybe about 6,300 square feet.
Great space,
But that square footage at a commercial rate puts us at nearly a value of $2 million. Right?
Especially in Rosendale Square here.
Exactly.
Right in the village.
So we hold that equity.
Right.
And with that equity of $2 million, we go out, we find maybe an $8 million purchase and leverage. And we got more than the 20% required to get in. We get the funding, and then we make that into a $20 million building or whatever it's going to be when we finish
the exit.
it.
Yeah.
So if I could do that and do that administratively, then it would be far greater than having to be on hands like this. The goal, I think, ultimately is to be able to have reliable people and be able to step back bit by bit.
As you scale up.
Correct,
because once you get to that level, man, it's not much you're going to be doing on site.
Not much, yeah. Just orders.
Orders. That's it, and just checking in and following up.
Yeah, and right now it's nearly that. But beyond, like, demo's demo, concrete's concrete, steel is steel, sheetrock. But I'm just here to just make sure.
Just keeps everything moving in the right direction.
Yeah, if you ain't watching your money and you waiting on the broker to tell you when to cash out, you're going to lose.
That's right. Yeah.
He might be working for somebody else.
Yeah, man. Yep.
So that's how that goes.
Excellent. So what types of opportunities are you looking for now, Tommy, in this chapter of your career as a real estate developer? And I asked just in line with trying to speak to folks about what they can bring to you and how can they connect with you.
Okay. I would say right now, what's interesting about that is I don't look for deals. Deals find me. And that would be either through the off-market lists that we share among each other. Some of us, yourself, Roddy Pena shares an off-market list. And at this point in the game, Zillow, Reddit, and everybody else is just sending automatically what comes on the market. So the phone's just beeping, I'm just looking. And that's how it goes. If I like it and it seems interesting and it drives me, then I'm going to drive to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I found one over in Brockton not too long ago, maybe about 2 weeks ago. Offers accepted. I've started over there also. I got some people out there.
Nice.
But it's 203K, standard financing.
Yep.
And I've
you leverage what you got, man. Yeah. That's
chosen
beautiful.
a contractor. But a situation like that, 430, you always ask for cash back.
Yep.
In this particular situation, I got 5% cash back. They're giving me $21,000. 430, but it's 2 structures.
Oh, wow.
So you got a 1,600 square foot house, and you got a 2,100 square foot garage with 13-foot ceilings.
Yeah, you can do something nice with that. I've seen a lot of those,
So,
multi-dwellings on one lot.
Yeah, man, on like a 10,000 square foot lot.
Great deal.
Yeah,
great deal.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So what I do, I go out there, send the guys out to clapboard it, do the hardy, run through it real quick, and then put it back out there for 700, see what happens.
I love it.
Yeah, so right now it's things like that, just waiting and seeing what comes. You know what I mean? Instead of rushing and trying to find.
You don't force it.
Nah,
Yeah.
Let it come to you.
What's the best way for people to connect with you, Tommy? Is it email, your website? You know, if they have deals they want to present you, because a lot of folks watch this podcast.
Oh, that's great. You can holler at Rob. That's how we do it. That's how we do it over here. I'm still from Roxbury. Holler at Rob. We doing this over here like this. Yeah, they can come up to the business when it's open.
Yeah, man, love it. Excellent. Well, I definitely want to thank you, Tommy, for your time.
Yeah, likewise,
thank
man.
you for sharing your story, man. And looking forward to really showcasing the finished product here, man, and chronicling your journey.
Yeah, absolutely. In 2 weeks, you come back. This is my brother in building. Y'all call him. Come see him. He got all the solutions for everything you need. He reminds me of a young me, to be honest with you. I can't tell you enough good things about this brother.
I appreciate that compliment, man.
Yeah,
and looking forward to all the great things we're going to do.
No doubt, brother. Peace.
All right, man.
Yeah.